and his reputation as an individual is dreadful. Some of the things he's done and continues to do, I will not repeat on the air because they're not for the ears of the average person. But this guy is a real scumbag. And it's to be expected, and I expected it, and I could tell by the way he was headed maybe a year ago. And there's a lot of people like him out there. Some of them are newsletter writers as well. Only they usually are incorrect, and they usually mislead people. But this guy came out with an all-out attack, same old garbage, and that's fine. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And we can get over the Nouriel Roubini affair within the next several days, and it'll be over. That'll be the end of it. And he will have done as much damage as he probably can do.
I wanted to get your take, and thank you for your call, Terry.
I just was on about the miners, too. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, the miners, they come down about 12%, and that's a normal correction. And, my feeling on trading is, as a former 25-year professional trader, the average person definitely should not be doing that. And those who think they can jump in and out of the market and do well are mistaken. Maybe 2% of the population can do that. Being a trader is a very rare breed, and they're very strange people, too. I work with them long enough.
I'm sorry, Bob.
Go
Do
ahead.
you think this is the last of them hammering on the gold?
Oh, no, they're never going to give up. They'll hammer it at 13.25 to 13.50, 15.50 to 16.50, and on, and they'll use derivatives. They've got the COMEX rigged. It's disgraceful, the figures that are coming out there. Yesterday's figures are an example. Let me pull them up here. Gold open interest. Yesterday it dropped 14,545 contracts. Today it was up 999. I mean, give me a break. Another thing, too, is they just raised margin requirements on gold again. And now gold is going down, not up. And so why would they do that? They're trying to force gold down so that the shorts can cover. And the shorts are short, as far as we know, 308,000 net contracts. A normal short for the commercials is 95,000 contracts. That's triple normal. Those contracts belong to the United States government. That's who's doing that, via Goldman and Morgan and so on and so forth. But the markets are so rigged right now that the pressure to the upside is so enormous that even with their rigging, they can't stop it. And they're only using paper. They're not selling gold. They either don't have it or don't want to let it go. And so the effect they have in the market will last 2 to 5 days. That's the end of it. Because they come back in and cover their positions. And that's what they're looking for here. They're looking for maybe 1,100 gold or something like that so they can cover it. And they haven't had a chance to cover. They're stuck. And if gold doesn't go down from the level that it's at and starts moving back up again, the losses will be in the hundreds of billions of dollars. The American taxpayer will pay for that. And that's the kind of government we have.
Boy, Uncle Sam, huh? That usually brought a warm fuzzy to people. I don't think it still does. Terry, I appreciate your call.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you. By the way, just to let you know, Bob will be I'm going to carry him over. I'm glad you don't weigh a lot, Bob. We're going to carry you over into the next hour of the broadcast here on Republic Broadcasting into the flip side that's normally hosted by Robbie Noel. I'll be sitting in for Robbie today, and Bob is going to join me for the first segment of that program. So if you think you can't get your calls in and you're sitting there contemplating, can I get in before the end of the show? Well, you got a little bonus of about 15 minutes into the next hour. 800-313-9443. Let's go to Steve in Ohio. Hello, Steve.
Hello, John, and hello, Bob.
Hello.
Bob, you mentioned Civil War. Are we past the point of no return? Is Civil War inevitable, or do we still have a chance to avoid that?
Well, first of all, it was John who mentioned Civil War. I call it revolution. And, yes, we have a chance to stop it. And the chance, it's two-pronged. The passage of 1207 by the Senate, which is 604, which is the bill to audit the Fed. If we can get that passed by February and start digging immediately into the things that Ron Paul wants to go after, we got a real good shot at them. And if we can get the news out early enough, like by June, then the public sees what's going on. Maybe we can get rid of the Fed before the next election. In the next election, you people out there have got to harangue the incumbents on all the important issues that we talk about in the program. And you got to get rid of half of them at least. And if you can do that, and we get the legislation, and we can get rid of the Fed, we've got a chance, an outside chance. I'll lay the odds at around 8-1. And that's the only chance you have. Otherwise, it's going to be revolution.
And do you think that the revolution is going to start mainly because of the economy, not because of the unconstitutionality of everything that they've been doing? I'm of the opinion that most people really don't have any idea about the Constitution, but they know what is hitting them in their pocketbooks. Is that your opinion also?
An empty belly makes people do very strange things. And with that said, that's what's going to do it. And I don't see unemployment going down unless they come in with another stimulus of another $500 billion or more. And if that happens, we'll have an elongation. But, you know, you've got the dollar going down. The dollar right now is, which I referred to earlier, and John was talking about it. The dollar has fierce technical resistance at 77, and that's approximately where it closed today, depending upon what month you look at. I've got it down at 76.92, up 58, and 77 technical resistance. We could break out in a false breakout to 78, but it ain't going anywhere. It's all
okay. I'll let you guys go.
All right. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, the thing that keeps rolling around in my head is we're starting to see reports that the plug will be pulled maybe before the end of next winter. And that falls within the time frame that you were talking about, Bob, the year and a half. But if they're gearing up for what they're considering civil war in this country, then, and this is a 2-point observation, say in February the bill gets passed to audit the Fed, and Bernanke has already intimated here that if you do that and you start politicizing what we do and you start delving too much into our books, that we'll pull the plug on the economy. And
well, that's good. That's terrific. Let them do it. And we'll see how long it takes to get them to the gallows. Because it's high treason to do that.
It is.
You know, if you're going to do something like that, you don't telegraph it. He's a meatball. You know, all you say is, well, there could be some dire implications here. You know, it would cease to allow us to perform in the manner that the Federal Reserve Act allows us to, and he could dance around it, but he's too stupid to do that. You know, just because he's a college professor doesn't mean he's smart. He might be an intellect, he might be brilliant, but there's a thing called street smarts, and he doesn't have them. Paulson had them. He was an animal. But no, they're not going to do that. Don't forget, it's their system, and they want to take it down when they want to take it down.
Which they pull the plug here, all the dominoes fall worldwide.
You know, it's like when Paulson said it to the House. I would have stood up as a member and said, you know, I am going to bring treason charges against you. But none of those people in the House had the guts to do that. Because that's treason.
Well, and it also could be said that it was treason what every Congress assembled since 1913, even though that, say, the present-day Congress, Bob, didn't have a hand in on December 23rd of 1913 giving us this unconstitutional, illegal, and debt money system. I say that it is incumbent